Wendy Charlebois is with Zero Suicides of Elko County, and that's an organization now that's a few years old, and it was born of, the love and the care and the commitment from loved ones, from family members who have lost family members to suicide.
Right. And Zero Suicides of Elko County, we have a board, and everybody on our board has lost someone to suicide. And so, including myself. And so that's why we did this, to try and, prevent more suicides. But, and our goal is to have zero suicides. But this year has been a tough year. We've had at least 10 since the year began. And the other thing I wanted to mention, I've got some stats here from the hospital, but we've had a lot of overdoses this year. And August is National Overdose Awareness Month. And so we're just coming out of August, but there have been a lot of overdoses. And I mean, I want to make it clear that not all those overdoses have led to suicide. I want to make that distinction, but they're increasing, and the drugs that that they track for us that they track at the hospital are fentanyl, heroin, methamphetamine, and opioids, and so we got to do something about that. And so because oftentimes substance abuse, whether it's intentional or non-intentional, can lead to suicide, as well as a lot of other things that lead to suicide. But anyway, so September is National Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month, and Zero Suicides always tries to do some, things during September to promote awareness, and we've already done a lot of things just in the last few months to bring more awareness to suicide. But one thing I do want to mention right off the bat is that there are probably people out there right now that are really depressed, struggling with relationships, financial stress, youth heading back to school. There are kids that are going to be going away to college, and that's a big stressor, not only for the child, but also for the family. And so, and you know that, Lori. I mean, that's hard. So I want to make sure that people know that there is help available. That's right from the very beginning. Please, if you're feeling really down, if you're thinking about suicide, please call somebody. And then the one number that's easy to remember is 988. That is the crisis and suicide prevention line. And so somebody will talk to you. They will help you find resources. And that's easy to remember because we have a lot of phone numbers that we could call right here in Elko, but that's a good number to remember, and it's easy. And that's why we went to this 988 number instead of, we used to have a regular long phone number, and the National Suicide Prevention, I don't know who all was in on it, but this number is easy to remember. So please, if anybody is thinking of suicide or needs help in any way, please call the 988 number. So, a couple of things that one of our goals is to provide training to different groups. We have two different trainings that we do. We have Lynette Vega and I are now Safe Talk trainers, which is a 3.5 hours training on how to keep a person safe for now. And then we also have assist training, which is a 2-day, very intense training. And we just finished one it was just for community members. And I want to throw in Nevada Health Centers. They always provide us with they have provided us with a great training room, and they've kind of partnered with us to help us get the word out. So that's a good collaboration. And so we did it for the community. It was 2 days, and we even had people from Carson and Ely and also Reno that came to our training. So it's intense. It's 2 days, but it's well worth it. And so that's something that we've done. But what we have in store on September, let's see, oh my goodness. I didn't write the dates down. It's September 10th and September 24th. We are providing 4 trainings for Nevada gold mines, 4 Safe Talk trainings for Nevada gold mines in recognition of Suicide Prevention Month. That's something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. So they're all filled. We have no spots available. So that's real exciting, really exciting. And then I also want to mention our walk on it's the 14th, September 14th. And if you've ever been on our walk before, you're going to be surprised because it's going to start someplace different. And it's going to start at the Silver Dollar at 400 Commercial Street. And the reason why we're starting it there is that a young artist here in Elko, which I don't know her name, she is painting a mural in Sam's place at the Silver Dollar about her brother died from suicide. And so she wants to do that. And so that's why we're starting there and ending there so that people can go in and see the mural. And you'll get a map for the route where it's going to be a different route, but it's about 3 miles, and it's fun. You can bring your dog, you can bring on a leash, and you can bring your kids in a stroller, and even your dog could pull the stroller. So. So that's another big thing. That's one of our biggest fundraisers.
And you did tell me the date on that one was?
Yeah. Did I say the 14th?
You may have. I was just not, I didn't write it down, and I was trying to. That is on a Saturday.
Yeah,
Yep.
14th.
Yep.
That's
Perfect.
when it is. And so that's always fun. It's kind of inspirational. Mm-hmm. And, unfortunately, we see more and new people at the walk because, when you lose someone to suicide, it's a really communal way of remembering the person that died by suicide. There are people there that you can talk to about it. It's a good way to connect. Another good way to connect is our grief group, and that has been growing. I mean, it's unfortunate that it's been growing because that's not a club you want to be in, but it is so important. Our grief group meets the second Monday of every month at, I don't know exactly where it's going to end up. It's been at Stormy Remington's house, but it's getting a little bit too big. So if you want to know more information about that, you can go on our website. You can go on Facebook and find Zero Suicides Elko County. And you can go on our, that's the Facebook site, and then we also have a website where you can, one of the new things that we've put on our website is all of us who have lost someone to suicide on our board have written a story about our loved one and their picture. And I read Luke's today, and I hadn't seen it yet. I mean, I wrote it, but I hadn't seen it on the website yet. Yeah. And it really, it was hard to see it. But I think, when people think of people dying by suicide, I think a lot of times people have a preconceived notion of what someone who dies by suicide might look like or what their past was. And you'll find after reading these stories, it's probably not what you thought at all. And so that's really exciting to see that. So our grief group is really important. And our grief group is led by Carol Farrell, and she's a certified grief educator. And what she wanted me to say today was that grief, you experience grief. You can't help it. But what's important is that you learn about your grief. You learn about what grief does to you, the physical effects, the emotional effects, the psychological effects of grief. It's important to learn about your own grief, and that's part of what happens at the grief group. And then, just talking about it's so important to talk about what happened. And I can't tell you how many times I have repeated my story about Luke's suicide, and every time I guess I feel something different and I learn something different. So it's important to do that, especially with people that understand, because if you need those other people, because they understand what you're thinking and feeling. So that's a really exciting thing that we do. And then another exciting thing is that we are raffling off Clay Walker tickets.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, and let me make sure I've got this right. Of course, I didn't bring his thing. Anyway, it's $5. The tickets are $5 a piece, and you can buy 5 for $20.
Okay.
And you can get. I'll give you my phone number. If you want raffle tickets, it's 775-340-0268. And I don't personally know. I know I've probably heard some Clay Walker music, but I don't know who he is. But anyway, people in the know say he's really good.
Fantastic. Yes,
yeah. Oh, good.
So
okay.
Good. Yes.
And it's going to be at the Maverick Casino, and
right here at home.
Yeah, I know. Clint Black was just on last Saturday.
Yeah, and it was packed.
I know. Or was it Sunday? Yeah. Anyway, so you can buy those raffle tickets with a chance to win 2 tickets to see Clay Walker. And the drawing will be August 27th. We usually do a drawing or something like that when we have our walk. But because the concert is before our walk, and, the Maverick was kind enough to donate those tickets. We've had such great people in this town support us. So we've got our assist training that we did. We have our Safe Talk trainings that are coming up. We have our grief group. We've got Clay Walker tickets. We also, I want to mention Kairos Recovery. They wanted to help recognize Suicide Prevention Month. So they are doing a breath work and healing group called Letting Go. And it's on September 21st at 5 p.m. and it's to support zero suicides. And there's only 15 slots. So if this is something that would interest you, I myself have done a session. It is powerful. It is really powerful, and I don't know what to say about it. It was very powerful, and it helped me at a time when I really needed a little nudge. So they're doing that, and I don't know. We might have other stuff that's going on, but
that's a great start.
Yeah. So I think that. And I want to also talk about going back to school. Our kids have had a lot of challenges in the last 5 years, and people think that this mental health crisis with youth started when COVID hit. No, it was before that, and a lot of it has to do with cell phones, bullying. And so I just want to encourage parents to really be aware of what's going on with your child. There are, kids can get bullied at school and never tell you because they don't want to tell their parents or for whatever reason. But you can often see it in their behavior. And you really want to look for these symptoms of depression, anxiety, kids not sleeping, kids having anger outbursts. I mean, teenagers often have those anyway, but it's important to kind of get to the bottom of those by talking with your child. Even little kids can become depressed, have anxiety about school. Watch out for eating habits. Check those out. Check, if their mood suddenly changes or they're doing something that's way different than they typically do. If their grades start dropping, if they don't want to be with their friends anymore. Really pay attention to those things, because the earlier you get a hold of something like that and start working on it, the better off the child will be, and so will the whole family. Because these kinds of things are not just a child's problem, it's the whole family. And, if there are struggles within your own family that may be causing, some of these challenges, get help. We have private therapists. We have the mental health clinic that's provided through the state. We have there's telehealth. If you're a GBC student or at some of the other schools, if there's a child that's struggling, they can be referred to the telehealth people, who are actually master's level interns down at UNLV, and the kids can connect that way. And also, I wanted to mention that one of the things that we've been working on with Zero Suicides is trying to encourage the hospital to broaden their mental health, and it's happening. We're getting a third floor. It's going to be a behavioral health unit, and they've dedicated 7,440 square feet, 16 patient beds, state-of-the-art environment ensuring patient safety, group therapy and activity rooms, provider consultation rooms, and 24/7 assessment, and it's going to be a big deal. I don't know exactly when it will be finished, and we've got a local therapist that is going to be the director.
I was just looking through my notes as you were reading that and talking about that, Wendy, because I know Steve Burrows from the hospital, he gave an update to government affairs with the Chamber of Commerce, and they are very close. And you're right, they're going to have an in-person professional, a psychiatrist, I believe, or at least someone who's a local,
He's a clinical social worker.
And then in consultation with the psychiatrist, I think. Yes. So yes, hands-on behavioral health, that third floor will be dedicated to that. It's so needed.
Yeah, it is, because when a lot of times when a person is suicidal, the first place they go is the hospital, or they're taken there by a family member or or the police. And in an emergency room, a person is. I don't think it's difficult for them to talk about their mental health issues, because there's still a taboo about having a mental health issue. And so this is a place where they can be seen more quietly, and not, just a curtain separating you from
who knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's really exciting. But we have lots of help available in Elko. And more is, we've had, because of my old program, I can tell you about 4 students that went through the GBC social work program that went on to get their master's and then went on to get their clinical social work license that are working now.
Wow, Wendy. Wendy, of course, retired from GBC, heading up the social work program, and a licensed social worker yourself for many years before that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So, and that program is still going on, and we do. The hospital and I teamed up after my son died, and they provide a scholarship every year for a rural student to continue on in the social work program. So that's, there's just stuff going on.
Yes.
That there really is.
There wasn't before, and that's what's so important to know is this is homegrown. This is the result of the pain and the grief of families who have come together. And Wendy, we talk about this, but you never know how many people you save. It's just the ones that we lose, and that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah.
But we are saving people. We are saving people. So because they feel less fear, less apprehension, know there's more help. We're making connections, as you said.
Well, and you've heard about the Hope Squad.
Yes. We gave them some lagoon tickets.
Oh, did you?
So they could, I don't know if they did a raffle or what, but we love the Hope Squad because it's peer to peer.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like the love of somebody who maybe, you thought they could care less about you, or they didn't understand your struggles, or whatever it is, because as you talked about, school can be rough when you don't have the things, you don't have the family, you just don't have the support.
Yeah.
But these students are supporting one another.
Yeah. The Hope Squad is, it is a peer-to-peer type of thing where there are students and advisors that are trained to know what to do if another student comes to a student and says, I want to die, or I'm feeling really down. They know what to do then, and they've been trained. It's just kind of getting off the ground in this last year or so, and we've got some great people that are involved in it. Lori Lesbo is really involved in it. Of course, Lynette Vega is really involved in it, and it's a great thing. I'm hoping that we can really see a difference in the schools when when the school year starts. I think I have a lot of hope for the Hope Squad.
Yeah, and that's where it actually starts. I mean, if you don't have caregivers, parents, adults around you who are doing modeling, then if they can look to each other, because sadly, Wendy, we do know that some parents are embroiled in their own disputes right now. There are custody issues. They feel stressed out by election, or as you said, finances. They're buried in their phones. They're not paying attention to what's going on in their families. So.
Yeah, I mean, they've found that little teeny kids are having speech difficulties because of phones. They're not being talked to, and sometimes the parents will hand the child the phone, thinking that that's going to help him or let him watch a screen of some type. It's not the same as having a human face in front of you, that you can see their facial expressions, the nuances of their speech. So so there's a lot to pay attention to. And I tell you, I think parents have a hard time now. I mean, just all of the technology that they have to deal with and know about, and so.
Yep. And then they have these long hours.
Yep.
Some of them are working 2 jobs, trying to keep a house clean, keep their relationships going, be good parents, read a book. Well, that's not on the list because, I mean, that's the reality. We have to.
Right.
You're right. I'm so glad that you said that, because sometimes I worry that when we sit here and give good advice, people think we don't acknowledge that it is a struggle on so many levels just to pay the bills, just to pay rent. How are people affording to live?
I don't know.
I just don't know either.
I do not know. It is really hard. But we've got to, I think it's important that, and I want to encourage you to take some training. And even the Safe Talk, it's 3 hours, but at least it makes you more aware.
Yes, and you can even help yourself with Safe Talk.
Oh, yeah. You can help yourself, and
yes.
You never know when you're going to need something like that. And part of being aware is also being aware of what the resources are. That's another thing we had last Thursday. I couldn't go, but we have a meet and greet. We get the medical doctors. We invite the medical doctors and the mental health providers to meet twice a year and learn about the new resources. And we did that on Thursday, and there was a really great presentation about, I can't even think of it's called PANDAS, and it's pediatric autoimmune, I don't know the whole thing, but it has to do with strep infections. And there's a connection between strep infections and a mental health crisis. And that I missed that, and it's going to be on our website as soon as we get it. Whatever they do with it, they edit it or whatever, and it's going to be on our website. So you'll be able to see that. But I didn't know anything about pandas.
But there was a correlation, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
and I know that Luke was plagued with strep.
Wow.
And when he was really little, he had asthma real bad. And then when we moved back to the United States from Germany, he started getting strep infections.
Okay.
But I don't know if that has, anything to do with it. But, there's a lot of reasons why people die by suicide. And most of the time, there is some type of a mental health, underlying mental health issue. And that's why we have to become more alert and looking for the symptoms, the signs. But then sometimes, I know I was worried about Luke for a long time, but lots of mothers or loved ones said, I never saw anything. And that happens too. And
right.
Some suicides are impulsive, but they're pretty rare. Impulsive suicides are pretty rare. But anyway, lots of reasons for suicide. And, if you can sit down with someone when you're feeling depressed and you can talk about those things, suddenly things get clearer and clearer. So I encourage people to reach out.
Both the ASSIST training and the Safe Talk training are available, as Wendy Charlebois has been talking about. She's with Zero Suicides Elko County, and these are important, whether you can devote the 3 hours, which goes by very fast, I can tell you, and it's riveting conversation, and it is absolutely life-saving, or, of course, the more intense Safe Talk training, right, that you can
ASSIST.
get. ASSIST is the intense one. So,
Yeah.
All right, Wendy, thank you. I hope we got to all the things for today.
Yeah.
I think you did an amazing job.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
always appreciate you
I
coming
appreciate
in.
you having us on.
Well, thank you, Zero Suicides. We'll be talking more to you again, whether or not in the month of September. We can certainly have you come in again, Wendy, because every month really should be Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month.
Yeah.
So we take that seriously.
That's great.
All right. Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot.
And thank you, listeners, for joining us. Again, Zero Suicides Elko County. You can find them on their Facebook page. Simply Google that, and you will find the resources and the information we've been talking about today here on Elko Live on KELK.